You often hear spiritual teachers say, just let go of the thoughts that arise in the mind. Does this mean that we don't listen to anything that the mind says? What if the mind says to stop so we don't walk out in front of a car? Or what if the mind has an insight about truth? Contrary to viewing thinking as always causing problems, I would like to go into a deeper understanding of it, an understanding of the different levels of thinking. About 25 years ago, I realized that not all types of thinking are equal, and this became a real cornerstone of my practice. I was a professor and a Dharma practitioner at the same time, and I observed that there are distinct levels and kinds of thinking, each with its own influence on our well-being. Some modes of thinking can be generative, supportive, and wise, while others may be detrimental, causing mental turmoil and suffering. In other words, some thoughts we need to listen to them in order to survive. Others are useful in doing our jobs, for example, but others may cause suffering. And still others may lead us to awakening or to be knowing consciousness itself. So I've divided thoughts into 3 categories, and I'm calling these discursive thoughts, contemplative thoughts, and wisdom thoughts. And I'm going to go through each of these and explain what they are. Discursive thoughts are probably our most prevalent mode of thinking. The Buddha termed discursive thinking as papancha, this kind of surface level thinking that often involves repetitive thoughts driven by attachment, fear, desire, and self-concept. It can lead to the proliferation of narratives, constructing stories and fantasies that do not serve our well-being. The second type, contemplative thoughts, are generative forms of deeper thinking. The Buddha called this yoni, and likened it to a womb, a generative source of profound thinking. This kind of contemplative thinking arises from a deeper place within. It fosters a connection with the present moment, and it focuses on the well-being of oneself, others, and the world. It is characterized by the qualities of clarity, tranquility, and an inclusive and compassionate perspective. And third, wisdom thoughts. They come from the whole or being mode and reflect ultimate truth, the voice of wisdom. And the voice of wisdom is not always loud or dramatic. It's often a still, small voice that conveys grace, love, compassion, and peace. Our deeper intelligence comes from our being mode, from collective consciousness, from our deeper nature. This being mode is not limited or finite. It's shared by all minds. It is an intuition or a non-judgmental curiosity-based intelligence that allows us to be okay with the unknown and accept what is in the moment. And mindfulness plays a pivotal role in reshaping our relationship with these different modes of thinking. By becoming aware of the source and the nature of our thoughts, we can create space for contemplative and wise thinking to emerge. And these deeper modes of thinking are associated with equanimity, joy, and a genuine concern for the welfare of all beings. During one of my early meditation retreats, I discovered the ability to temporarily suspend the discursive mind, that first mode, allowing for other forms of thinking to just arise, to surface spontaneously. The experience highlighted the expansive nature of my mental space and the opportunity to explore alternative ways of understanding and perceiving the world. Acknowledging the levels of thinking invites us to be present, to break free from automatic patterns, and ultimately to be free from discursive thoughts and instead dwell with contemplative and wisdom thoughts, what the Buddha called a wise mind or wise view. To differentiate between the types of thoughts, we need to pay attention. Pay attention to the quality of those thoughts. Egoic thoughts are loud, argumentative, and divisive, while wisdom thoughts are soft, gentle, and accepting. They're also curious. Wisdom thoughts are often described as a still, small voice, or the gentle whisper. However, since our egoic thoughts are often dominant and distracting, it can be difficult to hear the quiet voice of our being mode. It requires practice, patience, and awareness to notice the thoughts that arise from our deeper intelligence. To develop this practice, we must be mindful of our thoughts and observe them without judgment. As we become more and more aware, we can begin to recognize the egoic thoughts that argue with reality and distinguish them from non-judgmental, curious thoughts that arise from our deeper being mode. While this practice can seem challenging at first, we can learn to access our deeper intelligence and engage skillfully with life by listening more to our contemplative and wisdom thoughts. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you soon.